Hi guys, my name is Reid Schoonover. I'm from Fort Collins, Colorado in the United States of America, and I'm here at Capernwray for the winter school, and I'm going to talk to you today about my just faith journey before I got to Capernwray. So I would say that I've been a Christian throughout my whole life, but really for the first, 16 years of my life, it was just a very dormant faith. And I would consider myself like a baby Christian, like Paul calls the Corinthian church. But I would say it was a very just shallow faith. And sure, I might have gone to church almost every Sunday, but I wasn't pursuing God's will. And it left me in the broken space, and I wasn't joyful. I was just broken. And I was very worldly for the first 16 years of my life. And about 2 years ago, I looked at my life and I was like, you know what? I'm done with this life, and I want to change and follow God. And I started to read the Bible. So I decided to read at least 1 or 2 chapters every single day until I went from cover to cover. And I'm still on this journey, but throughout maybe even the tedious parts of the Old Testament, I still just grew tremendously. And I grew so much in my faith and so much in my knowledge of God. And I decided to help lead a program at my high school called Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And that was just a tremendous experience for me. And I just fell in love with the community there, and I loved preparing lessons for the club there. And I just really enjoyed it. And I realized that God might be calling me into missions or into pastoral role or just some place like that. So I wanted to take a year to really just focus on God and to learn more about God to prepare me for that role. And I applied to a whole bunch of different similar programs to Capernwray. And I just prayed to God that He would clearly point me to the place I'm supposed to go, and He would close all the other doors that I'm not supposed to be at. And it was a miraculous series of events, but every single door closed besides Capernwray for me. And I feel like God clearly is pointing me towards Capernwray. And since I've been here, I've just fallen in love with the community, and I love the lections. I love everything about it. And I'm growing so much while I'm here. So my biggest spiritual takeaway. So a few weeks ago, we had a lecture series on the person and body of the Holy Spirit. And so I've heard of the Holy Spirit, but a lot of churches and a lot of Bible schools, they mainly focus on the Father and the Son and not a whole lot on the Holy Spirit. So I actually knew, I was surprised how little I knew about the Holy Spirit. And Derek went into great depth on who the Holy Spirit was and how it's working in our lives. And it really was very freeing for me that I know that the God of the universe is living in me. And I love those lecture series, and that was great for me. So before I came to Capernwray, I would definitely consider myself as an introvert. And that was one of the biggest things that I was worried about with coming to Capernwray, the community and having to live with over 100 people and eat together, go to lectures together, just spending every single minute of the day with a bunch of other people. But what surprised me so much is how much I've changed from that introverted self to now where I am now, where that's my favorite part of the day now, is I just love being around the people here, and I've just made such great friends. And the community is just so amazing, and everyone's so rooted in God. And I've made friends that I'm sure will last for the rest of my life. And if you're like me and you are an introvert and you are worried about, can I go to Capernwray and be surrounded by all of these people and live with all these people every day, I would just encourage you to do it. And it is a very freeing and great experience. All right. So when I first saw the schedule on the website, when I was looking at Capernwray, I saw that there were 6 lecture spots every single day. And I was a little worried about that. I said, am I going to be listening to 6 sermons every single day, 45-minute sermons? But that's really a whole lot different than I expected. So it doesn't really feel like sermons almost. It's lectures or classes, So it's not like a traditional sermon. It's more topical on certain parts of Christianity, which I really do enjoy. And also there's a lot of variety with what we do. For example, today we had what's called family groups, and that's just a small group that you spend a lot of time with, and you become really great friends with them. And we have something called whole community prayer, where it's like a lecture slot where we just pray. And we have some small group Bible studies that we do that, it's a lot of different stuff that we do during these lecture slots, which I was surprised by. So I'd say that while you're here, you will learn so much. You'll be a completely different person than when you got in here as when you leave. And I would say that it might sound scary, but that's really encouraging. I've felt myself so much more rooted in God than when I got here. And I have way more joy, I feel like, than when I got here. And I just love, the people, and I love just life pretty much since I've gotten here. And I would say that you should know that, first off, that you will change in coming here. And I would encourage you just to apply to come here, and I promise you, you won't regret it. It's a very cool experience that is once in a lifetime.